Oh my god, you will not believe what Ria did this weekend. What did you do this weekend?
Stop. And अपने आप से पूछो whether you want to become the next victim of office gossip. And whether she needs to know that you spent the entire weekend binge watching Friends. Again.
Nothing much, yaar. I'm gonna get back to work.
Hello, you wonderful humans. I'm Adete. Or am I? Maybe my real name is Aishwarya. And this entire time, I have been lying to you. Just kidding, or maybe not. But this highlights an important point that despite the fact that I am a content creator and I create content publicly, there is very little that you actually know about me. And the reason for that is super intentional. Privacy is extremely important to my mental well-being. And in this video, we are going to talk about why it's probably a good idea for you to become a more private person as well. When you tell people everything about your business, it creates a lot of space for negativity, judgment, and a lot of unwanted opinions. And it also gives the impression that you don't have good enough boundaries and that people can walk all over you. I have always been a private person. I absolutely don't like unsolicited advice from anyone ever. Kind of ironic given the fact that I give a lot of unsolicited advice on the internet. But a few times in life, I have made the mistake of telling everyone around me everything about everything that is going on in my life. My work, my relationships, my family problems, and the results were not very fun. Once, this flatmate of mine that I had opened up to quite a bit ganged up with my other flatmates, and then all of them bullied me into leaving my flat because of the information that I had shared with her that she used against me. Not a fun experience. See how I told you that story without revealing the names of anyone involved or giving you any details about my personal life. That tells you that being private does not mean that you have to be antisocial or that you have to be rude. It just means that you tell people only what they need to know. And not everyone in your life needs to know everything about every aspect of your life. Like your acquaintances or your flatmates probably don't need to know about your family drama or your relationship problems. Similarly, your colleagues don't need to know about the fight that you had with your boyfriend or what your best friend said about your other best friend. Whenever you're confused about sharing information, ask yourself these two questions. Is it benefiting the person who is listening to them, or is it just giving them material for gossip? And second, is it benefiting me in any way if I share this information, or am I just doing this to seek validation? Because I feel that in most cases, when we overshare or when we are giving out a lot of information that the other person probably doesn't need to hear and that we probably don't need to share, it is a means of seeking validation. When we gossip about somebody, or when we say this person did that, or even influencers on social media, when they share very nitty-gritty, tiny details about their entire existence, it's a means of validating that, hey, what I'm thinking is right. And if you think it's right, then yay, I feel good. But once you get validation from oversharing, you continue to overshare to continue to get that validation. And that doesn't always happen because nobody on the planet is going to agree with what you say 100% of the times. You know, I was traveling to the UK and I did post quite a few stories, reels, etc. about that place. But I was in this one place called Inverness for 2 days. And I don't think I posted a single story about it. It was the most beautiful place on my entire trip. And I had an absolutely lovely time there. Cooking meals, having wine, all of that. But when I was in the moment, I did not feel like sharing stuff on the internet. I did tell my friends about it, I did tell my close friends about it, I did tell my family about it, and that was that. I didn't need to post online to validate my experience of having visited the place. And see how I'm telling you right now and I'm not sharing anything on screen? Because I don't need to. You don't have to tell everyone about everything for it to be a valid experience. I recently came across this very, very toxic subreddit where about 70,000 people on that group come together and discuss and gossip about Instagram celebrities or people who are famous on Instagram. And oh my god, the toxicity on that place. And I cannot imagine that if any of these influencers who are being talked about are aware of this group and are looking at that group, that reading all of that information can actually be good for their mental health. It is so important to realize that not everybody wants to see you win. And while most people in life are not bad people or don't have bad intentions, there are plenty of people who are jealous, who are insecure, who are competitive. And that is why, even if they are not consciously trying to sabotage your growth or your journey or your relationship, if that is what you put online, they might be doing that unintentionally or subconsciously. And if you do happen to come across their comments, if you do happen to interact with them, what they think, how they judge the situation can massively impact how you think about it. Their words, their actions, their opinions can influence your judgment, and that can completely change the course of your decision making. I remember when I was wanting to start YouTube, I really spoke to this person who was extremely close to me, and I told them that I want to create videos and I think this is a good career option, and they were so extremely critical of this. They told me that this is not good, it's probably not going to be a success, it is a waste of time, waste of money, waste of effort, blah blah blah. And that's how that conversation went, and as a result I gave up on that dream altogether for 5-6 years, as a result of which I'm starting YouTube now. But the mental thing aside, it is also quite dangerous, and this is in context to sharing information publicly on social media for your physical self. There are so many news stories about how stalkers, exes, found out information about people because of the stories that they posted online. And that is extremely scary. I no longer do that. I no longer update my stuff in real time. So if I do have to share a story, if I do have to post something, it will be once I am completely safe in the sanctity of my own home, or I am at a place which I'm not revealing to the public, and then I upload that event ka story or that lunch ka story or that brunch ka story, and that ways I know that I'm safe and I'm not giving away information very, very publicly. But it also helps me to be in the moment while I'm there instead of constantly being on social media. So that's also a great point. If you are somebody who really updates every single aspect of their life online, please consider your safety and your well-being before you do so. But with all of that being said, it is important to remember that keeping things private does not mean that you can't share them with anyone or that you can't seek advice if you're going through a problem in life. Firstly, different people in your life are fit for different kinds of information, right? I wouldn't necessarily talk about my dreams and my goals with extended members of my family, but I would share that with my partner. Similarly, I wouldn't talk about my relationship online or publicly where everybody's opinion can influence my judgment about it. But I will talk to my close friends, my close family about it and seek their advice and their opinions. Now, with all of that information in mind, here are 4 things that I think everyone should consider keeping private. Number 1 is your relationships. Yes, we live in the age of social media, but a relationship is between 2 people. And the moment that it gets too public, like you share it with other people, you are now at the risk of being influenced by the opinions, judgments, words, actions of those people as well. So it's no longer this dynamic between 2 people, it's between you two and everybody else as well. Number 2 is your dreams and goals. When you tell other people about your dreams and goals, especially if you haven't taken action on them, people can be extremely opinionated about it. They can be coming from their own experience, perspective, etc. And if you are even the slightest bit unsure about anything, their opinions, their judgments, their perspective in life can so heavily influence yours, and it might confuse you, it might derail you from the path altogether. We don't want that. If you do absolutely have to tell, make it a point to tell after you've achieved that goal or after you've fulfilled that dream. And that's a lot more rewarding as well. And number 3 is other people's secrets. And I am so amazed that this needs to be told because of the gossip culture that we live in. But if somebody has told you something in confidence, you should keep it. If you're telling other people about it, gossiping to other people about it, that raises a red flag in you. Because it tells me that 1, you can't keep a secret. 2, you've broken that person's trust. And 3, you are now choosing who else can have power over them, especially if it's an important secret. And 4, your own mental health doesn't mean that you shouldn't talk to a therapist or close friends or people who understand you. It just means that It does not need to be a topic of public discussion, because when you are mentally going through something, whether it's depression, anxiety, or if it's some other mental health disorder, you're already dealing with so much stuff. Why do you want to include the added pressure of telling other people and then have to listen to their opinions, their judgments throughout that process? Keep it private till you know that you can handle the repercussions of making it public. Remember, my friends, that privacy is power and people cannot ruin what they don't know about. With that, I'm gonna go do stuff in my private life and I will see you for the next video. Bye.